No major tech company has taken more L's in a year than Twitch had in 2022. Not even Google's many failed social media ventures have taken nearly as many L's as Twitch had in this year alone before Google yeeted them off the plane of existence. Ever since YouTube Gaming offered Twitch streamers much better contracts in late 2021, Twitch has been losing streamers, losing subscribers, and just losing respect in general. Twitch's disastrous 2022 could honestly be the precedent of Twitch just no longer even existing. If I said in even late 2021 that Twitch was going to become defunct someday, even Twitch's biggest haters would call me cynical. But ever since 2022 is now coming to a close, even Twitch's most staunch defenders can honestly see where I'm coming from. One company can only make so many bad policy choices towards even their most protected clients before even those people who made their first ever million on Twitch alone will say, "It was fun, but it's time for me to move on to greener pastures." So with all the sex, violence, racism, and financial fraud that Twitch gave us in 2022, I now give you the top Twitch fails of 2022, part 1. Because even though I tried to shorten this video as much as possible, anything over 40 minutes will pretty much just make my internet scream for help before it gathers up all the courage to reach for the little bottle of fentanyl to quickly end its suffering. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, cringe and enjoy. Twitch didn't even get to enjoy the new year for more than 11 days before its first bit of drama and stupidity came. On January 11th, a streamer called JiDion finally got partnership. JiDion, judging from the stuff he does on both his YouTube channels, is more of a react streamer than a gamer. He reacts to funny things, does funny things. His stuff is generally more aimed towards a black audience, which doesn't really include me, but whatever. It's not like I'm not allowed to watch his shit. So anyways, he was probably having a grand old time. He just got partnered. He was just about to make his first few bucks off Twitch when he decided to send his viewers over to do a cheeky little raid on Pokimane. Pokimane being one of the OG female Twitch streamers who was mostly popular for being, female. Unlike your more serious streamers like Valkyrie and pretty much every VTuber nowadays, makes her pretty much Twitch's top target for any kind of harassment or raids, and opinions on how easy it is for women to get popular on Twitch and make $1 million just by pushing their tits up and staring blankly into a camera. Which, okay, it does happen, but that's not really the best way to describe Pokimane. She at least talks to her camera and talks frequently, and she can also certainly draw one clean line of G Fuel. Okay, but back to JiDion. He sent his viewers over to do a raid on Pokimane's channel while she was streaming. It was mostly just the l+ratio stuff. I don't think there was anything like racist or sexist or homophobic spammed in the chat. I think it was literally just l+ratio or hear from JiDion. And Poki had a bit of a breakdown on stream and closed it early. She's always target number 1. Whenever someone starts screaming about why they hate female streamers, female content creators, and sometimes even just females in general. So I can understand why Poki got stressed out. And I can also understand why JiDion got a 14-day ban. Surprise raiding on anyone is a bit of a dickish move. And if the other person clearly doesn't like the raid, you should probably get some sort of punishment. 14 days is too extreme in my opinion. You only need like 1 or 2 days to think about your actions and why you should just keep your streams to yourself. But here's where Twitch screwed up. So JiDion was originally banned for 14 days, but 6 days into his ban, Twitch just made it a permanent one. No warning, just we know you still had 7 days left on your suspension, but we just decided to get rid of you for good. Now, even though he was banned from Twitch, he wasn't banned from Twitter, so people could still see his rage posts about the permanent ban. Maybe he posted a couple things that could be seen as misogynistic. Personally, after scrolling through his Twitter, I don't really see it. But he did orchestrate a raid against Pokimane and said that he hated her as a person, so unfortunately, since Pokimane is Twitch's #1 hate target, any kind of negativity towards her will pretty much be permanently stomped out. No matter if your intentions were just to make a funny l+ratio raid. A permanent ban for this is stupid, and if Twitch wants to pull the all negativity against Pokimane as misogynist, stupid little trump card, then Twitch shouldn't be surprised that they got so much hate for permanently banning JiDion, especially since they actually made up and did a YouTube collab together, like, what, just two weeks after the permanent ban. Also, Twitch, there are more female streamers than Pokimane, so just keep your eyes off her, okay? Just leave Pokimane and her G Fuel lines alone. So with the whole JiDion/Pokimane thing, it seems pretty obvious that Twitch doesn't really know how to handle streamers that are, controversial, but not known for doing anything that's like illegal or scummy. But what about streamers that Twitch has permanently banned in the past? If they're tough on JiDion for doing an l+ratio stream, well, surely they'd be tough on someone who would, get banned like 10 times a month for watching porn on stream, and for threatening to go postal on Twitch's actual headquarters. Seems like a pretty easy situation to deal with, right? Just permanently ban them. They can't be trusted with running a live stream that, doesn't include full-on nips and balls and details on how they want to shoot and kill every Twitch employee in existence. Well, this is the case of former speedrunner Narcissa Wright. The whole story about Narcissa Wright is a pretty sad one. She used to be the best speedrunner of all Legend of Zelda games, especially Ocarina of Time. She once held the record for the fastest speedrun for Wind Waker on the GameCube, for Ocarina of Time on the IQ player, whatever that is, even Castlevania 64 on the old original Nintendo 64. Crappy original controller and all. But because she spent so much time practicing speedruns, she eventually developed hand problems and had to quit. She also came out as a male to female transgender, which, for people who are just generally uncomfortable with the whole transgender thing, or who people who are just plain transphobic, which is something that's especially prevalent in any forum where the misfits of society go to hate on everything else, especially in the gaming community. So it's pretty easy to understand where Narcissa Wright's, mental problems come from, and her health problems too, with the whole hand thing. But clearly her mental issues are so deep-rooted that she just can't stop herself getting banned from Twitch over and over again. And every single ban going as far back as 2016 was for the same reason: watching porn on stream. Look, hot tub titty streamers can get away with it because they're at least not showing their nips and wop holes, and the fact that Twitch can use some kind of legal ambiguity as to what is sexually explicit and what isn't, so they can get away with running camgirl light stuff on Twitch because, hey, sex sells. So in 2018, Narcissa got a permanent ban for, you guessed it, watching porn on stream, in between her speedrunning streams. Zelda speedruns or not, I'm sorry. If there's porn anywhere in your stream, there's porn in your stream. Of course you're going to get banned for that. 4 years later, she made another account. She'd used other accounts in the past to get around her permanent ban on her original account, but this one stayed up for a little while for some reason, despite every other account of hers getting banned. But due to Narcissa Wright being Narcissa Wright, this account didn't even last a full month, because on March 21, her account was permanently banned again for, you guessed it, showing porn on stream. So what did Miss Wright do after receiving yet another permanent Twitch ban? Just take another L and start streaming on YouTube? I hear YouTube live streaming is doing pretty well. Nope, she threatened to shoot up Twitch's headquarters. And here's where the whole Twitch part of the Twitch controversy comes from. Despite being permanently banned again, and for, wishing death on all Twitch staff by her own hands, they reduced her suspension. I know that Narcissa was once a legendary speedrunner, but ever since, not being able to do speedruns anymore, and refusing to do anything about her serious mental health problems regarding her gender identity and the medical problems related to her hands, maybe out of the fear of being transphobic or whatnot, because Twitch's whole image is that it's supposed to be next gen and progressive and adapting to prepare for the future of live streaming. But look, someone who shows porn live on stream, despite being permanently banned multiple times for showing porn live on stream, and someone who threatens to shoot up your own headquarters, is not someone you want on your platform. But no, even after the mass shooting threat, her ban was reduced to a permanent one to just 22 days, a sort of reverse JiDion thing. Two wrongs don't make a right. And Twitch's double standards and shithouse attempts at moderating were not lost on JiDion, who after himself receiving a permanent ban, despite initially receiving a 14-day ban, for something that wasn't even explicitly outlined in Twitch's terms of service. JiDion went on Drama Alert to state his opinion on the whole Narcissa Wright ban. I apologise for using the C language and JavaScript visual representation of AIDS on my video, but Drama Alert is where drama goes to die, so I can't not show it.
The only thing I wish I knew is I wish Twitch would kind of like have like an outline of, like keeping it kind of the same for everybody, you know what I mean? I feel like there's just so many like outliers and like different cases to where it just makes their terms of service kind of like useless to a sense, because it's like they'll follow it for someone and then they won't follow it for somebody else, you know what I mean? It is just like, if I have the right to be permanently banned, it is what it is. But me personally, I feel like you have to keep that same status quo for all your users, and you can't be having like these special cases that they like, constantly be showing. But that's just mine.
However, thankfully, Twitch did realise their mistake, because 16 days after they initially reduced Narcissa Wright's ban from permanent 1 to 22 days, on April 8th, they reversed their ban decision again and decided to make it a permanent one, for real this time. Still, reducing a ban length from permanent to just a 22-day ban for someone who had been permanently banned multiple times from your platform, and someone who had literally threatened to shoot and kill all of you, is still a pretty bad look for Twitch. Narcissa Wright now streams on YouTube now, so if you want to check it out, here's a link to her channel. So after upgrading a ban length from 14 days to a permanent one on one account, before permanently banning another account, then reducing that ban length to just 22 days, before reverting the decision just to permanently ban them once again, did Twitch finally figure out what is permanently bannable content and what isn't? Nope, because it happened again on August 29, when a streamer was caught having sex on camera in front of a Twitch audience. Sounds like a pretty standard reason for a ban, no? Twitch's official guidelines say that adult and sexual content are strictly prohibited and will result in a permanent suspension of your account. Of course, since rather racy cosplay streamers and hot tub streamers exist, I'd imagine that anything that's sexual in nature without being, just outright sex would be skirting the lines between what is technically sexual content and what isn't. But this was a streamer doing the Beast of Two backstands without any clothes on, with another person on the stream who also doesn't have any clothes on. Although no nips and balls were shown, it can't get any more obvious than, someone slamming into a Twitch streamer from behind, but Twitch streamer going, YouTube's guidelines for sexual content are also pretty questionable, so I'm just going to stop there. But anyways, this streamer should have gotten a permanent suspension, right? Well, she was suspended, but the suspension was lifted after just 6 days. Streamers have been permanently banned for far less. In cases like JiDion and Dr. Disrespect, they are permanently banned for reasons not even really in Twitch's terms of service. But no, straight up camgirl stuff, which is explicitly outlined in Twitch's rules as something that's worthy of a permanent ban, only constituted in a 6-day ban for this streamer. JiDion even outlined the hypocrisy on Twitter. His Twitter's still up, by the way. Let's be real, it's true. Male streamers and female streamers adhere to different standards on Twitch. While some titty streamers have been permanently banned in the past, usually after 5 or 6 suspensions, since sex always sells, I guess Twitch decided they needed a bit more of that advertising revenue and just let her back on. And of course, with JiDion being too mean to Pokimane for a simple l+ratio raid, was stirring up too much controversy, mostly about Pokimane herself, nothing to do with JiDion. With JiDion's actions himself, they just decided to go after this nobody streamer named JiDion, who didn't have his titties out in any of his videos, so he didn't have sex to fall back on, and as a result, it's probably got also something to do with the whole ratio of male to female streamers. Let's be real, there are far more male streamers out there than female streamers, because there are more male video gamers. And the girls that do play video games are, let's be real, just as unattractive as men who play video games. So anytime a pretty girl shows up on Twitch, and of course since male sexual attraction is more visually oriented compared to women whose sexual attraction is more psychologically oriented, it's a lot easier on Twitch to be visually appealing as opposed to psychologically appealing, which honestly speaking is fucking hard to do. Sex appeal drives in clicks, it drives in ad revenue. The rule that Twitch has forbidding any kind of adult content, well, I'm pretty sure that's just there for legal reasons to cover their asses in case they get sued by Christian Mums of America for $1 billion. And probably for a reason to ban some guy pulling his hairy junk out on Twitch, because honestly, who wants to see that? And that brings us to September 2022 in Twitch. I'd say that half of this video is going to be dedicated to what happened in September alone, out of the other 11 months of 2022. So let's start things off on the 17th. Yes, it was during the second half of September 2022, where the full flush button on the toilet, that is Twitch, was pressed. When Mikkel P, a Twitch streamer, uploaded a clip that he received from another Twitch streamer, it's Sliker, begging him for money.
Basically, my bank account got locked. This has happened for like 3-4 days. I've been asking around people. Sadly, today, well, tomorrow is the last day until my credit starts getting fucked up. It got locked out, and I was looking for people that actually work and that I could ask if I could borrow from, and I'll pay back. Genuinely, give me 2 months and I can pay back. If you can't, no worries, my brother. If you can, but please, don't feel forced to say yes. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't get in the call to do this. I feel genuinely embarrassed. I've asked a few streamers, they couldn't help, and yeah, I don't mind it. It's okay. So I just went out, asked a few subs I've noticed, and yeah.
He said his bank account was locked out, he'd been asking a bunch of people who gave him no answers, and he had only 1 day left to unlock his bank account before he starts getting charged for being unable to pay the credit he withdrew. He said to Mikkel P that he tried asking a few other streamers to help him, they said no, and that he really needs Mikkel P to give him a couple bucks. He did promise that he'll pay him back 2 months later. He sounds like a pretty generous guy, right? A pretty generous guy who's got himself into a shitty situation with his bank account and his credit cards. The first devious little fib that Sliker told Mikkel P was that other streamers weren't able to help him out. But the truth was, they were. In fact, his close friends, of other YouTubers, and even his own fans were.
You'd be like, bro, you don't understand, streamers don't, like, they're so money hungry, they don't want to, so ironic now looking at it, but he was like, the streamers are so money hungry, they don't want to help anyone out, blah 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 blah. And now after everything's come out, all these streamers sent him so much money. I cannot believe he said that. I cannot believe he came to my DMs and told me, yeah, all these streamers are just, all they care about is money.
You're the ones who paid him all the money.
I don't care, I don't understand, yeah.
That's right. This streamer, who was probably making at least around 6 figures from streaming, somehow asked his fans, who most don't make anywhere close to 6 figures, to give him some cash because his bank account's been frozen. And according to Sliker's own friends, he's been saying that his bank account's been locked out and that he needs the money for at least over 2 years now. 2 years for a bank account to be locked. And then repeatedly unlocked, then suddenly locked again, then unlocked again, then suddenly locked again for 2 years. And according to the testimonies from other Twitch streamers and YouTubers who gave Sliker some amount of money, the amount of messages he sent people saying that his bank account was locked over a 2-year period would equate to Sliker receiving around $300,000 of money that he apparently needed for emergencies. Is it more likely that Sliker had his bank account frozen and repeatedly unlocked, then frozen and unlocked again over a 2-year period? Or despite swearing on the Quran and his mum that he wasn't scamming anyone, did he send his friends and other internet personalities, and even his own fans, hundreds of messages saying that his bank account was locked and that he needed cash instantly? And did he play up the sympathy card to siphon $300,000 off of people's goodwill? Well, considering the fact that he sent the message to one of his friends who was undergoing chemotherapy for cancer and was pretty much going into debt just to keep herself alive, his morals are definitely shaky enough to imply that the latter is more probable than the former.
I interviewed multiple victims and created a master list of the people who Sliker scammed because I needed to get like a bird's eye view of this thing. There are over 55 people on this list owed money right now, and the total scammed is over $384,000.
Huge shout out to CoffeeZilla for compiling a whole list of people that got scammed out of their money by Sliker. Like 55 people's worth. CoffeeZilla mainly does investigative work into, your standard crypto scams. But sometimes if a scam that's servicing around the internet pops up, he likes to investigate that too. And he is legit. If you want to find out more about how Sliker scammed $384,000 out of streamers, YouTubers, and his own damn fans over a 2-year period, go watch this video. I posted a couple clips, but those are just clips of the interviews he did. He himself summarizes pretty much everything he uncovered, much better than I ever could. It's his own investigation after all, but I'll give you a quick summary of how Sliker managed to siphon that amount of money out of people and what he did with it, and how he lost that $384,000 all over again. I've only shown one clip of Sliker begging for money. The whole, my bank account got locked out and I need like two grand immediately. I'll pay you back though. That was the most common story he made up. Over the 55 confirmed begging for money videos, messages, texts, DMs he sent, he tailored his little sob story for each individual person he tried to scam money out of. And he'd often tailor the amount of money he tried to get out of his people. He tried to scam 2 different people who were both living together in the same apartment. One person earned far more money than the other did. So for the more wealthy person, he'd ask for around 2 grand. But for the less wealthy person, he only asked for $300.
Asked me for 5k in the video crying, swearing on the Quran, on his parents, where he'd pay me back. But then he's asked Mini Titan, who doesn't have as much money, for £300. Tailored it specifically to Mini, knowing he has less.
Pretty damn bracing to try and scam 2 people who are living in the same damn apartment as each other. Did Sliker not think they'd talk to one another? So he's used the my bank account was frozen little fib. He's used the I'm going to get shanked, I need to pay some guys because I owe them coke money, that sort of thing.
Well, he calls me up and sorry, I'm shaking thinking about it. I thought this guy was my friend, and he calls me up saying that he's going to get shanked. He owes people money. And they're outside, if he doesn't pay them, then they're gonna break his legs. And I'm thinking, I gotta help this guy.
I even asked another person just for a simple electricity bill. There is no sob story that Sliker won't spout just to get a bit of extra cash.
Hey, I just recently got into some thing with my bank. Basically, my bank account got locked. This has happened for 3-4 days. Yo, Mo, I'm not hacked, my bro. I'm not.
He was even desperate enough to use his own tax returns as an excuse to siphon 15k out of someone.
I just got home from my gym session. He gets me to call and he's like, yo, Waddles, he's breaking down. He's almost on the verge of tears. He's breaking down and he's like, okay, bro, you're not gonna believe this. I didn't pay tax last year and I'm owed 15.5k. And listen, he had the proof though. So this is the thing that doesn't make sense though, because I don't know if he was lying to me.
You know, I've already seen this screenshot, but not from you, from someone else who got the same letter. I swear to you.
Oh, no way.
I swear to you, he was sending it to everybody. He was sending it to everybody.
Bro, this is news to me, bro. I did not know this.
How many times have I mentioned that Sliker scammed a cancer patient out of, what, 7K? While she was undergoing chemo.
He did this to you while you were going through chemo?
Well, I was going through chemo, man.
He knew that while asking you for money.
Yes. So this is why I had no idea that I was being scammed, because first off, I met this person multiple times in person. He knew I have severe autoimmune diseases while going through chemo.
Not to mention all the other instances I found of Sliker scamming content creators, not found in CoffeeZilla's nearly 15-minute long video.
But yeah, look at all these people. Slime, $1,000. Oompa, me, $1,000. Harris, 30K. Luke, AFK. Oh, bro, Luke. I love Luke, man. He got...
I lost 27,000. From giving a lens to Sliker.
He owed me money too for a while. I lent him $1,000.
Miz says Sliker borrowed money from him too. Miz, you fucking idiot! You fucking moron! Are you kidding me? You gave that clown money?
The little scammer goblin didn't stop there, however, because sometimes after he recorded and sent out or DM'd a sob story, begging for cash because his goldfish's bank account got locked out, he would send some people he scammed their money back on PayPal. Here's the thing about PayPal transactions. PayPal has an option for the person who sent money to reverse their transaction, and the time limit for transactions to be possibly reversed by PayPal is 180 days. Sliker obviously knew this, because to every single confirmed person who he sent PayPal money to pay them back, he waited a couple days until after his victim got the money to then reverse the transaction, so the money would go back to Sliker anyway.
He's sending money back. I was like, hello. He would be like, yeah, I can send it. And then he sent me 1.7K on PayPal, but he sent it as a transaction. And then 3 days later, it was canceled. So I never actually got any of that money back.
Tectone didn't get his money back.
Bro, no way, bro. No way.
But isn't Sliker supposed to be a Twitch partner with close to 500k subs? Subs, followers, whatever. I don't really watch Twitch. I meant followers. So why go through this elaborate 2-year scheme where he creates his own sob story and tailors it to each individual he's trying to get money out of? So after Twitch streamer Mikkel P accused Sliker of scamming him and hundreds of other content creators and his own fans, on the same day the news came out, on the 18th, he admitted it.
Wallah, I never knew this thing was gonna come, bro. I didn't know what to do. I lied to many people. I lied to so many individuals out there. So, if you haven't heard, I borrowed money off people.
So the excuse Sliker went for scamming his friends and pretty much everyone he was in contact with out of more than 300k was that he was addicted to gambling.
Ever since CSGO, not to blame, but ever since CSGO launch came out, it was the first time I went on that site, and it was a fun place to be, you know, gamble skins and stuff. Wow. Eventually I found out you can gamble with money. I used to gamble a lot of my money, basically all my Twitch money. And then even them times I wouldn't even have them, I'd come across streamers and ask them if I could borrow money.
He said he'd been addicted ever since he got money for the first time in his life, and even when he became a Twitch partner, he just couldn't stop. He needed that fix. No matter how much cash he siphoned off people, even $300,000 wasn't enough to feed his habit, apparently. He did come off as pretty genuinely sorry, right? I mean, he's damn near on the verge of tears of his career collapsing from under him. But need I remind you, with the fake sympathy videos he sent out, saying that, you know, like his bank account was locked, he was going to get shanked, his apology video and his scammy videos, he acts the exact same way in them.
I deeply apologize to every single person out there, and to even my moderators to even end up finding out about this as well. My viewers.
In all his videos, he's painting himself as a victim, as a poor fool who's got himself into money problems. The only real difference between his apology video and all the other videos is that in the apology video, he's asking his viewers directly to feel sympathy for him. I don't even care that he was addicted to gambling. You shouldn't either. Let's go back to Lupelli, the chemo patient he stole from. She was going through chemotherapy and was running into massive debt just to keep herself alive. And Sliker knew this, because they talked about with each other face to face plenty of times. Now just imagine that you're in a mall or walking up and down the main strip when you spot a guy with a disheveled appearance who's obviously had it rough. He's never showered in a while, he's never shaved in a while. Now imagine if you spot him snatching the purse from an old lady and running off with it. Now this guy had it rough in life? Yes. Is he in desperate need to make ends meet? Yes. But did he also willingly steal a bag from an old lady that contains her phone, her wallet, and probably pictures of her kids and grandkids? Yes. We all know what's in old ladies' purses. Even homeless junkies know. And we also all know that a person going through chemotherapy needs all the money they can get just to keep themselves alive as their body attacks itself from the inside. Do you think your addiction is more important than their livelihood? Get fucked. I have no sympathy for Sliker. No matter how much he cries on camera, admits it's his fault, admits that nobody can trust him, yeah, well, you got yourself into that position. Even his own mods had no sympathy for him. When the news about Sliker scamming everyone first broke out, his mods logged into his account and changed his channel description to "I'm a scammer, unfollow please." People like Sliker cannot be trusted with having an audience. He should never ever be allowed back on Twitch, or should even be allowed on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, or on Instagram if he wants to go down the route of being a bikini model where he flashes his cleavage in every third pic. I don't think Sliker's life should be over for this, but he shouldn't be in a position of power over other people ever again, because he cannot be trusted to handle his vices and stop himself from stealing other people's money. The good news about this whole kerfuffle is that XQC and Ludwig have pledged to pay back every single person who was scammed by Sliker. Sliker can't do it himself because his money's gone. So XQC and Ludwig, if you're watching this, got an order to you. And on behalf of everyone, pray that you do the right thing. And something else happened with Twitch. Twitch actually took a pretty big W this time. They did spend the first half year ignoring this issue while they were too busy jerking it to camgirls. But after a bunch of streamers petitioned for Twitch to ban gambling, because streamers gamble on Twitch all the time, Twitch did it. They banned gambling on their site. Well, it's now been updated on their TOS and community guidelines that you can't gamble, and of course, Twitch doesn't really follow their own TOS. However, the rule is there. This is a great rule because it protects impressionable people who watch gambling streams to think that they can earn as much money as the Twitch streamers themselves. But of course, the number one rule of gambling is that the odds are always in favour of the house. I mean, Stake.com have enough money to sponsor XQC, Trainwrecks, and even Drake. That'll let you in on something else. Those streamers are not gambling with their own money like you are. They're gambling on the company's money. If you actually want to win at gambling, learn something called arbitrage betting.
What's up, Kate? Hello, hello. Your boy is in deep trouble, you get me? Can I borrow 100 gold? sure you can. What do you need it for? Oh, it was 100. Are you sure you want to accept the trade? Of course. When do I get it back? Tomorrow? Trust me, TK. Sliker leaves the... yoinking!
And that does it for part 1. I'd love to upload a full series, but my internet just can't handle it. When I tried to upload that video on Bishop Sycamore, which you should definitely check out, I'm quite proud of that one. I tried to upload it real late at night, but the modem just got like so hot, he was fucking screaming at me, and the one guy was trying to grind League of Legends at like 2 in the morning, was like, what the fuck is happening with the internet? And that's how I got charged with a whole internet bill for the month. Whatever. So I've covered Twitch banning someone for an l+ratio stream on Pokimane for what was supposed to be 14 days, but then somehow changed into a permanent ban halfway through. Twitch permanently banning someone for watching porn on stream, before that streamer made a shooting threat towards the whole of Twitch headquarters and then getting unbanned. And then a partner Twitch streamer with around 500k followers scamming other Twitch streamers, YouTubers, and his own damn fans out of $384,000 in cash just to feed his own gambling addiction. Twitch has done many stupid things in the past, but I'm not even halfway through yet, because coming up in part 2, I've got more shitty implemented features from Twitch that cause a lot of streamers to just quit Twitch altogether and go stream at YouTube, cover-ups of crimes, kids stealing water bottles from streamers, kids wearing porn on their shirts when greeting their favourite streamers for the first time, crowd crushes, broken bones, emergency surgeries, and even more gambling. I don't know when part 2 is going to be added, but I really want to finish it by the end of the year at least. After all, the 2-part series, well, hopefully 2 parts, should be a recap of 2022. But of course, if you're watching this in 2023 and beyond, none of what I covered is an exaggeration by any means. Twitch went from an actual respected streaming platform to just a complete joke in the space of 1 year. So yep, catch you in part 2 of my recap of the 2022 fails of worldstarhiphop.com. Sorry, I mean Twitch.
Shit. I'm the one calling the shots. I don't get stuck in the box. Feel like I've been through a lot, holding it down like it's tied to a rock. Everybody y'all talk, they ain't walking that walk. Learned it all on my own. Everything's self-taught. Headshot with the stainless. Blow their mind that they brainless. Dreams of being on stages.